I firmly believe one of the main driving factors in human existence is seeking joy, not happiness, but true joy. And one person who's done this better than anyone else I know is Mark Solbanoff. I was able to sit down with him a couple days ago and talk about how he adds joy into his life. If you want to see the full podcast, you can actually click it right here and watch the full thing where we talk about several other topics. But if you want to learn his 3 tips for adding joy into your life so you can spread it into others, go ahead and keep watching and let's get to it.
Number 1, live with gratitude. We talk about like expressing gratitude on a daily basis. There's all kinds of different influencers and things out there that tell you to do this, but really fucking works. And here's why. And this is starting your day with gratitude, by the way, too. Now, this to me, it's a constant thing. I definitely verbally, internally, written, like I express gratitude on a daily throughout the day, right? But for most people, it needs to be an active thing because it's not the first thing they think of. So when you start your day with gratitude and you physically write down 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for at the beginning of your day, like before you start checking emails and getting riled up and phone calls are coming in and, the kids are headbutting you or whatever, like 3 to 5 things on somewhere in your phone, on a sheet of paper, whatever that you're grateful for, you start priming your mind to look for things to be grateful for. And the other thing it does, so let's say you're like, I'm grateful for my wife and my kids and a roof over my head and tacos and, the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody's grateful for the Dallas Cowboys, but just pretend for a moment, right? Maybe back in the 90s. When you go about your day and life does what it does, which is throw shit at you, you have a chance to go, wait a minute, you can let it affect you, but you can go, wait, I just said I was grateful for all those things. All these amazing things that I have in my life. Why am I going to let this bother me and derail me from all these wonderful things I just said I'm grateful for? And if you do that day in and day out over time, it really does allow you to let things go. And, I got a saying that if it won't matter 5 years from now, it shouldn't matter 5 minutes from now. So all these little annoyances and things that happen to us on a daily basis, like most of it just doesn't matter. And when you're able to approach things with a gratitude mindset, it really does bring joy. So that's number 1. That's a big one. Number 2, be the change. Most of us, if we could wave a magic wand, would want to change a lot of things about the way that the world works. Whether it's health and fitness, whether it's politics, whether it's, you name it, there's 1,000 different things that it's like, I don't like how this is. I don't like this. We need to get rid of that. There's corruption over here. There's, crime happening over there. But there's so much that you have no control over. But what you do have control over is this person that's you. And you get to do whatever you want every day for the most part, hopefully legal things. But if you want to see more happiness in the world, go be a happy person. If you want to see people being more active in this world, go be an active person. If you want to see, let's say you're passionate about child adoption, well, go adopt a child. I know that's very simplistic, but go get involved in that process. Go be an advocate. Go volunteer your time, because what that does is the people in your circle of influence, we all have one. Every one of us has people around us that are watching and seeing what we're doing and in some way, shape, or form being led by us. And you have the same, like there's people in your circle that you look to and you kind of get led by them, but you slowly begin to influence that circle and people go, man, like that dude really works out a lot. Maybe I should work out. Man, that guy's really passionate about adoption. Like maybe I should learn a little more about it. I don't even know anything about it, right? So by you just being the change that you want to see in the world, you slowly seep that into the people around you, and that's influence, right? But it's such a powerful way to just like be the example, be that change, be what you want to see. And I promise you will see more of it. And not only that, but you will attract more people to you that are also passionate about that same thing. Josh, you're a great example of that. Like John and I formed this company and we start coaching people. We attract people like you, and now you're a part of it, right? That's a prime example of like, I want to continue to change the fitness industry. And here we are doing it because we just showed up for ourselves and acted as if we were already doing. And now along come you and Brad Willie and David Rowland and Victor Fernandez and all these awesome people that are down for the cause too. So it's a super, super powerful way. But in my opinion, it's one of the easiest things you can do because it's just you. Like you get to control what you do and say and think and feel on a daily basis. And then the last thing, which is one of my favorite things. Memento mori, which is remember your death. For those of you watching, I have a tattoo on my arm that actually says that. It is the reminder that at any given time, your life could be over. I mean, over, not like, oh, everything's over. No, like done, dead. You're gone from this world. You're shadows and dust. Like that's it. Now, a lot of people think death is morbid, which it can be if you choose to think of it that way. But I completely utilize it to add joy to my life, because if this was the last day that I was alive, then I want to take advantage of this day. You know, I want to make sure that I tell my wife I love her. I want to make sure I spend time with my kids. I want to make sure that when I'm at the gym coaching, that I'm adding value to people. If I'm on a podcast like this, that I'm saying something entertaining or valuable or whatever, that somebody's going to be like, man, that was really good. We can't live every day like it's our last, because let's face it, there's a lot of things we wouldn't do if it was our like I wouldn't do dishes on my last day. If I knew, I wouldn't do laundry. I wouldn't clean the litter boxes. Like, you know, there's a lot of things I wouldn't do. But the mentality behind that is I can live in a manner that if this was my last day, I know it was a good one. I know that I put a smile on people's faces. I know I did things that brought myself joy. I know I shared love and gratitude and all those things with the people around me. And it also unlocks that thing in your brain that keeps you from doing things. You know, so many people, you can read the studies of when they interview older people on their deathbed, of the things that they regret. And it's always the things they didn't do. It's never work. It's never, I wish I would have worked 60 hours a week instead of 40. Like nobody ever says that, right? But it's like, man, I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have learned how to play the guitar. Or I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. Like, though, you get that insight into what actually matters in life when you read things like that. And when you keep death at the forefront of your mind, that, hey, like at any given time, this could be over. And even so, I'm 43 years old. Maybe I'll live to be 100. That'd be kind of awesome. You know, if I'm still in good health, maybe a little bit longer. By the time we're older, I think, you know, modern medicine will be even a little bit better, and there'll be ways to keep people alive longer and functional. But even if I got 60 years left, that's still not a lot of time. Like in the grand scheme of time itself, we're going to be forgotten. Like nobody's going to remember us 3 generations from now. So let that be the reminder to go do whatever the fuck it is that you want to pursue in this world. It matters in this moment, but it won't matter long term. So quit listening to people that don't support you. Quit putting yourself around others that doubt you. Quit being, you know, around crabs in a bucket that are like, man, don't, you know, what are you being greedy? You just want more money. Like, screw all that. Like, go do what you want, because life is so fleeting. And I promise, the more you fill your days with the things that you want and you craft a life that you love showing up for, that's where true joy comes from. And that's that deep-seated joy that regardless of what happens around you, you get to keep that. In my opinion, happiness is a feeling. It waxes and wanes, just like sadness and anger and hunger or whatever. But like joy is deep-seated. Nobody can take that away from you. So when you do those things, and there's obviously more ways to do it, but you know, when you express gratitude, when you're being that change, you remember your mortality on a daily basis, I promise you will live with so much more joy, and people around you will notice it. And they'll be like, damn, what the fuck is that guy so happy about? Because I get that a lot. Like, man, why are you so happy? And I'll tell you why. You know, but that's it. You know, I think, to me, those are the top 3 things that really contribute to my day in and day out smile on my face, gratitude, just being grateful to be alive and spreading joy in this world.
So those were the 3 tips that Mark shared with me. I strongly recommend you consider implementing these things. I've never seen Mark have a frown. He's always smiling. It is absolutely amazing. And he spreads so much joy in the world. And I really want you to be able to experience some of that yourself. I strongly recommend that you take a second to implement these processes. And if you have some ways that you found helps you stay joyful, please comment in below, because I'm always wanting to learn. If you think the first tip, setting down and writing down the things that you're joyful for, sounds amazing, and taking time to reflect sounds amazing, but you don't know how you're going to be able to fit it in your schedule, click this video right here where I walk you through how I manage my time and make sure I get things like that implemented every single day without fail. It's the best way to plan your day out that I've found, and works very, very well for me. On top of that, if you plan for it, it actually gets done. So go ahead and click this video and let me know what you think over there.